Master Your Emotions, Part 2. What impacts your emotions? Your mind operates on the famous computing principle of GIGO, garbage in, garbage out. If you do ill, speak ill, and think ill, the residue is going to leave you sick. If you do well, speak well, think well, the outcome is going to be well. Om Swami, a million thoughts. Emotions are complex and variety of factors influence how you feel. In this section, we all cover some of the elements affecting what drives your emotions. The good news is you have some control over them. If you exclude spontaneous emotional reaction resulting from your survival mechanism, most of your emotions are self-created. They result from the way you interpret thoughts or events. However, these aren't the only elements that affect your emotional state. Your body, your voice, the food you eat, or how much you sleep also play a role determining the quality of your emotions and therefore the quality of your life. Let's see how each of these elements impacts your emotions. The impacts of sleep on your mood, the quality of your sleep, and how much of it you get affect your emotional state. You have probably experienced the side effects of sleep deprivations yourself. Perhaps you felt grumpy, unable to concentrate, listless, or had difficulty dealing with negative emotions. Sleep deprivations can impact mood in many different ways. According to survey performed on people suffering from anxiety or depression, and most of the respondents reported receiving less than 6 hours sleep per night, and the sleep deprivations also increases mortality risk. A 2016 study conducted by researchers and at non-profit organization Rand Europe estimated that people sleeping less than 6 hours night had a 13% increase the mortality risk than people sleeping between 7 and 9 hours. The same studies revealed that lack of sleep cost an estimate $411 billion per year to the United States economy. Interestingly, sleep deprivation also seems to reduce an individual's ability to enjoy positive experiences. One study shows that while people who had enough sleep did experience a positive effect from such a experiences, no such effect was generated in people who were sleep deprived. How to improve the quality of your sleep? There are many ways to improve the quality of your sleep. Let's go over some of them. Make sure your bedroom is pitch black. Many studies have shown that the darker the bedroom is, the better we tend to sleep. If your room isn't pitch black, what can you do to make it darker? Maybe you can buy sleep mask or curtains that do better job blocking daylight. Avoid using electronic devices. This applies to smartphone, tablets, televisions, and the like. According to Sleep Foundation organization, studies have shown that even our small electronic devices emit sufficient light to miscue the brain and the promote wakefulness. And adults, we are subjected to these influences, and our children are particularly susceptible. A 2014 study published in PNNS show that melatonin, a chemical which is help in regulated sleep patterns, was reduced by 50% in participants which who read electronic devices rather than books. These participants took about the minutes longer to fall asleep and lost 10 minutes of deep sleep, also known as REM. Participants also reported feeling less alert in the morning. If your devices has light setting and night time using, it may be still have a negative impact on your sleep. But just test the night setting and see if it make a difference on your or to your sleep patterns. If you absolutely have to use electronic devices at night, considering wearing glasses that block the blue light they emit, it is best to put glasses on a few hours before you go to bed. Relax your mind. Next point is relax your mind. Okay, if you are like me, you may have all kinds of thoughts running through your head when it's time to fall asleep. I tend to very excited about new ideas I have or things I want to do. and as a result often I often feel through there are the so many things I could have completed during the day, and this feeling make it difficult for me to sleep. Aside from the turning off electronic devices before bed, I have found that listening to soothing music really helps. Reading a physical book can also help me relax as long as I don't get too excited by the book, which has been known to happen. Avoid drinking too much water within a 2 hours going to bed. This one of the obvious but still worth mentioning. If you have to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night, it's going to interrupt your sleep pattern. This of course will probably make you more tired the next day. Have an evening rituals. This alone will help you fall asleep more easily. It's best to try going to bed at the same time every night, including the weekends. Sorry. If you like to go to out during the weekends and stay up late, this will present a challenge, but I encourage you to give it try and see how it goes. And evening rituals will also help you stay and track with your morning rituals. It will be easier to wake up every day at the same time without feeling tired. If you have morning and nighttime rituals, if you do go out, stay up late and during the weekend, one thing you can do also, still wake up early during the weekends and have a couple naps throughout the day as necessary. If you have difficulty sleeping well, try to implement some of the things mentioned above. The best advice I can give you is to keep trying different strategies until you figure out what works best for you. Next point is using your body to influence your emotions. Our bodies change our minds change our behavior, and our behavior changes our outcomes. Amy Cuddy, social psychologist. Body language and body postures. By changing your body language and your body postures, you can you can alter way you feel. When you are confident or happy, you expand your body and make yourself bigger. Have you ever noticed how men strengthen their back, expand their chest, and tighten their stomachs when they see in attractive woman? That's a unconscious behavior designed to show confidence and power, the same way gorillas pound their chest. Okay, in one of the her experiment, Amy Cuddy, a social psychologist at Harvard Business School, showed that participants who adopted a higher power pose for just 2 minutes display characteristics similar to those of the confident and powerful people. More specifically, she noticed the following hormonal changes. After adopting a high power pose of 2 minutes, testosterone increases by 25% and cortisol decreases by 10%. And third point is risk tolerance increase with 86% of participants and choosing to partake in game of chance. After adopting a low power pose of 2 minutes, testosterone decreases by 10%, cortisol increase by 15%, and risk tolerance decrease with only 60% of participants choosing the partake in a game of chance. As you can see, you can actually change the way you feel merely by changing your body postures or facial expression. It is what some people call fake it until you make it. For instance, you can put a smile on your face to make you feel happier. Conversely, you can negatively affect your mood and even create depression by changing your body postures. David K. Reynolds, in this book Constructive Living, explained how the change his identity for his alter ego. David Kent and created or depressed suicidal patient. The goal was to be accepted as an anonymous patient into various psychiatric facilities to access them from the inside. Note that wasn't stimulating depression, he was actually depressed. Psychological tests prove it. Here is how he created depression. Okay, depression can be created by sitting slouch in a chair, shoulder hunch and head hanging down. Repeat these words over and over. There are nothing anybody can do. No one can help. It's hopeless. I am helpless. I give up. Shake your head, sign, cry, and in general act depressed, and the genuine feeling will follow in time. David K. Reynolds, Constructive Living. The benefits of exercising. Okay, according to Michael Otto, professor of psychology at Boston University, falling to exercise when you feel bad is like a explicitly not taking an aspirin when your head hurts. When the time came for David Kent and bring David K. Reynolds back to life, what do you think he needed to do? He needed to change his body position. Easy to say, but hard to do when you are in clinically depressed. Of course, he knew that better than anybody else. Still, he had forced himself to become physically active despite no wanting to do so. As he started increasing his physical activity and getting busy, he felt better and better until he fully recovered. David Kent's story shows that regular exercising improves not only your physical well-being but also your mood. Studies have shown that exercising can treat mild moderate depressions as effectively as antidepressant. In one study, James Blumenthal, a clinical psychologist at Duke University, assigned certain sedentary adults with major depressive disorder to one of the four groups. Supervised exercise, home based exercise, antidepressant therapy, or placebo pill. After 4 months, Blumenthal found that patients in the exercise and antidepressant group had the highest rates of remissions. In this conclusion, he stated that exercise has more or less same effect as antidepressant. When he followed up with the same patients a year later, Blumenthal discovered that people who were still exercising regularly had lower depression score than people who only exercised the sporadically. Exercise seems to not only help treat depression but also prevent relapse. So, when it comes to mastering your emotions, make you sure exercising is a part of your toolbox. Fortunately, you don't have to run 10 miles a day to reap the benefits of exercise. Simply walking for 30 minutes, 5 days a week can work wonders. According to research published in Plugs Machines, medicine, 2.5 hours moderate exercise we could add 3 or quarter years and your lifespan. Another study of 5,000 people in Denmark show that individuals who exercise regularly live to 5 to 7 years longer than sedentary counterparts. As for the benefits of exercising on your mood, they are both immediate and long term. Professor of psychology Michael Otto says you usually derive a mood enhancement effect within a 5 minutes of partaking in moderate exercise, and as we have just seen, exercising regularly improve your long term uh, mental health can be effective as antidepressant. What about you? What activity are going to take on to improve your mental and physical health?